Hello, I'm Oral Gibbs, and welcome to Oral Gibbs Live. You're gonna meet a very, very, very interesting person when I come back. At least once a year, he's here with me on Oral Gibbs Live. So when we come back, you'll meet my guest. Let me tell you about the sponsors. The Windward Islands Bank. That's the Windward Islands Bank in Phillipsburg, Cul-de-Sac, and in Simpson Bay for all your banking needs. It's the Windward Islands Bank and GEBE. That's right, GBE, Local Water and Electricity Company. GBE, serving St. Martin for over 6 decades. That's GEBE. And I'm Oral Gibbs here with you, and with me, the one and only, the man himself, Mr. Peter Gunn. How you doing, sir?
Very, very well. It's a pleasure to be with you always.
It's good having you on the program. So how are things going you so far?
Well, we're there. We're hanging in. We're all getting older now, so we got to take it a little bit more easy. But
I'm working
you
hard.
just got to keep busy.
Yeah, I'm working hard. I know, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but you got to keep busy. If you don't
definitely.
keep busy, you got to keep the body busy, the mind busy.
right.
Yeah. If you don't do that, you're gonna freeze up. Like if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
So I see you're doing a lot with the photography and the drones, man. You like the pro here in the island with drones.
Well, I've been flying. Well, I'm a photographer for over
A long time, man.
over 50 something years,
Wow.
60 years maybe.
Yeah.
Since back in the 70s.
And you did photography
So-
for many of the top magazines in the world.
Yeah, for the travel magazine
Yeah.
and for St. Martin, like
Right.
all the original St. Martin stuff, like St. Martin events,
Right.
Discover St. Martin, St. Martin Nights, and the postcards. We did millions of postcards. Before we had internet and we had it was all analog then. Now we have digital, so nobody sends postcards anymore.
Yeah.
They get on they send an email with a picture of St. Martin off their phone or something. So
But tell me something, because I didn't plan to ask you this, but because of what you just said, what do you think about digital? Because before you had to go to the dark room and you had to wait there. Today now it's instant.
yeah, I spent thousands of hours in the dark room. I used to have a
Yeah.
dark room, but I had a really nice dark. But it was you had to develop all your own film and
Uh,
do your own prints and all that stuff in those days.
do you prefer that more than today?
No, it's much easier now.
Yeah.
because when I used to do the stuff for the hotels, right?
Yeah.
Or even for the magazines, for the travel magazines, you had to do thousands of images, and it was transparency.
Yeah.
It was positives, not negative. On each
Yeah.
transparency, and you had to go through each one of those to find the best one. So you had to have a light table and all that stuff and a loop, and you go through step by step. It was a hell of a lot of work, and then you had to store them.
Yeah.
You had to have a good storage system that you can store all your really good
Right.
stuff. But you do a job for a hotel or something like that, or even magazines, you're shooting 50, 200, 300 rolls of film.
Wow.
And you have to have that develop and then go through each one step by step to pick out all the best. Because not every shot is going to be good, huh?
Right.
Because you have to adjust your lighting, this, that, So, yeah, you have to, or especially if you're shooting with models, because models they're moving around, so you want
Right.
to get the best look out of them. Because sometimes they don't look, they're looking the wrong way or moving their body is in a wrong direction or whatever. So you have to do a lot till you get the right one. It's same thing if you're doing portraits
But
with
you're
people.
good. You're good because a lot of people feel very comfortable with you, and you really bring out the best in people when you take those portraits.
No, because you have to use you have to be you use psychology, so you have to let people feel comfortable with
Yeah.
you. So you have to talk with them and make fun with them and all that stuff. So the same thing with kids. Kids are difficult to photograph, huh?
Yeah.
But you have to understand age and how to deal with them, and so you can get them to be natural. The same with people.
Yeah.
Because people in the beginning, when they see a camera, it's like they freeze up, huh? Everybody.
You talk.
Until you make them relax, and then they start opening up to you.
You know, I love dogs, and I have some dogs.
Yeah.
And when they see me do this, pull out my phone, oh man, they get excited. They love to take pictures.
Oh yeah, the dogs?
Dogs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
With animals, you have to use clickers and tricks and make noises so they start to, get them their attention.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it really nice professional dogs,
Yeah.
animal stuff, you have to use tricks with sounds and all that stuff to get them to,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
to,
it's amazing.
Yeah, so I photograph a lot of children. I used to like to do children, huh?
So you never did dogs?
Yeah, I did animals too.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
Yeah. In my days, we did everything. Sceneries, everything. Interiors. My thing was interiors. I'm very, very good at interiors.
Oh.
Inside hotel rooms and all that
Okay,
stuff.
so you don't like nature much?
Yeah, but there's only so many places you can photograph in St. Martin. I've been shooting here forever now. But you can repeat it.
It's always changing, man.
I know.
This is changing so rapid. When I look at some of the drone pictures that you take,
Yeah.
I can't believe it's St. Martin.
Yeah, that's true. But from the air, it looks different. And from the water, it looks different. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why, but the drone technology is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the only thing is with drones, you have to study all the safety rules. Because if you fly, you cannot fly over a certain height. In St. Martin, we have 2 airports. So if you, the further away from the airport, the closer you are to the airport, the lower you have to fly.
Right.
So you have to understand all of those things. And now you have they have a system within the drones now that it will block you from going over a certain height.
It wasn't like that before.
No, but DJI is the only drone. So if you buy other drones that don't have that no fly zone areas, on DJI you have no fly zone. So the closer you come, the closer you get into the airport, and the red zone you can't fly at all, unless you have to do something that you have to request information. Request permission from the airport.
Yeah, prior,
and then they will tell you, okay, this time you can maybe spend. You can only spend this time here and that time, and then they will notify. Or they'll tell you when it's open time, and you can't go over a certain height, and you have to stay within a certain area.
So when you look at digital compared to what it used to be in photography, you must say that digital is better, easier, less time.
I never thought it would be. It's a lot less time, but I always thought film was going to be the best. I was reluctant to switch over to digital in my days because I'm saying they can never get to the quality of a film. That's not true. It's about 1,000 times better now, huh?
Yeah.
And it's getting better every year.
And what's so beautiful about it is that even in television, you don't lose quality.
No.
In the old analog system, you run a super VHS or you run a 3/4 inch tape. Those U-matic tapes, and as you go, they degenerate all the time. Not anymore now.
Yeah, but if you can see the difference one time, if you run the old film, the old stuff from analog stuff from back in the 70s, 80s, and you watch, and now you have 4K or 6K and 8K. Now you have too, huh? Yeah. And then you watch, and especially the new TVs and all that stuff, the new television, the technology. It's day and night.
At the same time, we can't handle it in St. Martin with the internet. We just don't have the speed.
That's true. But I thought since they put in the fiber optics, I thought we would have had much better internet. But the internet's still not 100% yet. The speed and if you try to play 4K on your TV at home, because I have a 4K.
Yeah.
I have a 4K monitor that I do all my editing on.
Right.
So I can see exactly the colors when you're editing. When you switched over and you watch it on a 1080p or 720p TV or something like that, the color changes and everything.
Yeah.
But the true color, you have to have a 4K monitor, and if you play the 4K on the TV and it's a 4K TV, then you see the quality. Yeah. It's unbelievable. But we're going to get there. Eventually, everybody's going to have a 4K and 6K and 8K TV.
Well, it's amazing what technology is doing. And
it's unbelievable. Same thing with drones. It's all. I can set my drone to do an automatic flight
plan. You have
flight plan completely. Yeah, certain height and do the waypoints and all that stuff. Because everything is on GPS now, so.
Right.
And it'll warn me. The drones right now today, they warn you if there's an aircraft coming in, what area, how high, whatever, where it is. So if you bring it down, so it gives you a warning. So and it shows you in the radar on the app.
Yeah.
Where the aircraft is and how high it is and what location it's heading. So it's becoming more and more safe. And
it's just amazing what the technology is, and
it's unbelievable. I'm going to teach you how to fly drones if you want. You got to come with me sometimes.
I have a drone. I don't even fly it. I don't have the time.
Well, you
You know,
practice, it's not difficult because now with the technology, it's doing most everything for you.
Yeah.
No, but you still need to practice
Right,
your flight moves. Yeah.
Exactly. And don't talk about 5G. China is leading the world in that area. That is another
5G,
great,
that's where we're going.
yeah. But
But the US have 5G too, but it's just China. China's pushing the technology now. They want you to use their system, but then they can harvest all your information too. Don't forget
everything,
So
everything.
that's the danger now. I had an old guy, who was a good friend of mine. You know Granville from Granville Arundel.
Yeah. Heard of it.
He wouldn't touch a computer. Huh? He died now. He used to live up there in Defiance somewhere up
Right.
in the back there. Granville said, "Listen, that's gonna be the end of the world." He said they're gonna use that technology to run your life and to control you, and that's what's happening.
It's already happened because if you don't want it
He
to
died now a few years ago.
if you don't want it to control your life, you take this device,
Throw it away.
throw it away. You never use.
And you go live in the Amazon somewhere off the grid.
Yeah. So I decided. I said, well, to hell with it. I can't change anything right
Once
now.
you're on the grid, listen, you have a bank. It's almost impossible to open a bank account now.
Yeah.
Well, you have a bank account, you have a telephone. They follow every transaction you make. They know about. It's getting worse. It's getting more and more and more and more. You're going to be into a cashless society now, where you're not going to be able to use cash
The
anymore.
UK is pushing that really.
Not only that, the whole New World Order is pushing that because it's all about control.
Yeah.
So if they want to shut you off because if they don't like you or they don't agree with their political system or whatever it is, they can shut off shut off your account, shut off all your money,
Your
take your
good
money.
friend in Canada, Trudeau, did that.
He's a communist too, he's a Fidel boy. Trudeau, his father was that
yeah.
too. His father was there in the 60s. I remember that he and Fidel Castro like this back in those days, so
Okay.
don't expect any different from Trudeau. But
Yeah.
it's a sad situation what's happening in Canada. Canada used to be a beautiful country,
Oh, I love Canada. Very nice country.
I was up there in the when was it in the late 60s
Yeah.
for a few years. I went to school up there for a while because I had spinal meningitis when I was 12 years old. I mean, a lot of the older people in Saint Martin know that, and because everybody knew everybody in those days. And I had double vision after Dr. Petty and Bios, who saved my life. Huh?
Oh, okay.
My parents and everybody thought I had some kind of flu, but spinal meningitis, you know what that is. I think Matti Janssen too was one who had spinal meningitis here. So my parents sent me up to Canada to because of for medical, because I had double vision. I had to put my head on the side to focus.
Wow. And so
So-
you got rid of it now.
Yeah, and I was lucky too because they used me as a guinea pig up there.
Really?
So I got free medication because they were using the whatever treatment they were giving me. They were because they had me in the medical universities and to all the treatment. You had all these student doctors that's coming in, watching and doing all the tests that they were doing on me and
Yeah.
stuff. So that's why I got free medical treatment, and they fixed it.
But
The only thing they didn't fix with my brain, they made it a little bit more crazy.
I recall as a young boy, you was one of the best water skiers we had in it.
Well, I was always athletic,
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus I had a boat, so we used to every day after school, we were in the water 8-10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Me
I
and
remember.
Johan and the whole, I taught Johan to ski and all those
I used to
guys.
be right there in the water. I used to go swimming every day in town.
Yeah, I remember you, a little boy, yeah. And you remember Tony and Andy Smith.
Right, yeah. Those are two
Tony used to
twin-
run my boat all the time,
Yeah.
Tony.
It's great, good days, huh?
Oh, yeah, but those were more simple, nice days in St. Martin.
You can't
If you
even-
wanted to open a bank account when our bank was on a small pier,
Right there on the beach.
you go with 5 gillers or 10 gillers and with a ID card if you had it in those days.
Never even asked.
And there's
for-
something they
just give
don't
you a
even
name.
ask you. Yeah, what's your name? Where you live? And you open a bank account. Now today it's like almost impossible to open a bank account.
It's illegal for the bank to don't ask you for all those.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you remember as kids, right? Remember when the first cruise ship started coming here?
Yeah.
You had
SS
Stella Polaris
yeah.
and Stella Solaris or whatever it was.
Yeah.
We as little kids used to be in a small wharf and we used to dive up nickels and dimes.
Yeah.
The tourists used to throw in the water for us and we fight in there. And no mask or nothing.
Right.
And we there and you can see the
water was beautiful
quarters
there.
coming down. Yeah, the water was clear. And the little boys, we fighting out to collect. And when we, a lot of little kids open a bank account from that money.
Yeah.
Because You collect maybe maybe $2-3 for the day, with the tourists throwing the stuff in
Right.
the water, and we go right to the bank there and deposit it one time. So yeah, the savings account started and going. Yeah.
Imagine the tourists used to enjoy seeing us die for those quarters and those nickels.
Yeah, little
Today
kids.
now the tourists want to fight you for a quarter.
That's true.
We got the poor tourists there.
Yeah, yeah, but and those days were more simple days and everything.
Yeah,
St.
right.
Martin was a lot more fun, but not so many people.
I always tell people it was a beautiful time.
And that was my best time in my life in those days. Huh?
Same for me as a young boy.
We didn't have
growing
no TV and all that stuff.
No.
We had to make our own toys most of the time. You remember?
Make our own sailing boat.
Yeah, the smallest sailboats, we use some grape leaf or something as a sail and all that stuff. You remember about making killer bands and all that?
Yeah, those were beautiful days.
And we had pellet guns.
We used to go on the hill
We used to
shooting.
go on the hill shooting ground doves and mountain doves.
And still when we had a fight, we forgot we had guns there. We
Shoot
fight with
nobody.
hands.
Oh, fish
right?
guns too. We used to, remember I used to do a lot of
That's it,
diving.
yeah.
As a little kid, at 12, 13, you had all size fish guns depending on what you're going fishing for.
You can't walk with a fish gun now.
No, you can't even own one. It's like they're going to lock you up if they catch you with a fish gun. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And nowadays, we didn't shoot nobody with no fish gun.
You know what? Today's young people are different.
I don't know if they're different. It's just that you're not going to do it. I mean, but there should be consequences too. If you do something stupid, I mean, you should be, especially if you damage somebody. If you do something crazy and stupid, I mean, you got to pay the penalty. Now today, what's right is wrong, and what's wrong is right. So they punish the good guy and they reward the bad guy.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate.
That's why the whole system is upside down. That's why I think the future, not only here, it's a world situation now. Even Europe and the States and everywhere. They don't punish the bad guy anymore.
I know you've been very hard on criminals, even on this program, and sometimes they watch and they tell me, "Wow, Mr. Peter's really hard." But I think you make a point.
If you don't do that, you're going to have a society in chaos.
Yeah.
People have to be responsible. If you're not responsible, you're going to suffer the consequences. And I think that's the only way you're going to have a society that's a coherent society.
So it goes back to New York. The first time I went to New York, I was a teenager back in 1976. Went to Times Square.
High crime.
It was unbelievable. You
High
had
crime.
all these different peep shows and everything else.
You had Dinkins as the mayor then, and what's his name? The
Koch.
Koch.
Koch and
All
Dinkins.
liberals, all leftists.
And then I went back to New York, stayed a while there when it was clean.
Giuliani cleaned
it
up
was
to New York.
beautiful. But then
Republican.
you had the same, mostly black people didn't like it because they said it was profiling, and who he profiled was mainly young black men. But
Listen,
at the same time, they had little crime.
Or you have to profile. If somebody walks into if somebody walks into your business or whatever it is, right, and the guy has his pants down to his knees, and he's got on a hoodie and this and that, you got to be suspicious. You got to be suspicious. I mean, if he white, black, green, blue, green, or yellow, I mean, you got to profile.
Yeah.
You can watch at somebody and you know that they're up to no good.
Yeah.
So that's profiling.
But
You got to profile.
But now New York City is going right back to what it used to be before.
New York is
Giuliani.
dangerous like hell right now. You see what's going on over there? Because the liberals, they cashless, no bail and all kind of stuff. They let out the criminals after they process them, let them back out on the street. Of course, they're not gonna suffer any consequences. So they don't care.
I can't imagine what America is today.
Listen.
It's a beautiful country. I studied in America. I lived there for a while, but it's like it's going to the dogs.
The cities. America's still got nice places, but you
Oh,
have to be
yeah,
out
of
of the
course.
cities. The cities have gone
The
to hell.
politics is destroying it.
Especially California, San Francisco, LA, New York. Miami is one of the best now because you have DeSantis there.
Right.
DeSantis no
he's
nonsense.
Great. He's great.
And he's very good for business.
Yeah.
Low taxes, no taxes. That's why a lot of people are moving from New York to
Just the opposite of what they have in California.
California's gone to hell. California is like a communist country. It's a state. One of the, it's one of the biggest states, but it's like gone.
You ever been to California?
I've been there back in the old days
Let
when
me
it was
tell you,
good.
California is the most beautiful state of all the 50 states. in
Because
the
it's
United
big. If you go outside of San Francisco and
Yeah.
LA and you go up north and all that stuff, I mean, you have some beautiful places in
States. Really
California.
beautiful.
But the cities like LA and that's where most of the people live
They're
too.
the
LA.
junk now.
All homeless people all over the place. People attack you in the streets. They run into people's businesses and you can't do nothing. They run in, mash up your business, and they steal whatever they want. And if you shoot them, they're coming after you.
Yeah. Wow.
But you got to defend. Now listen to this. That's where right they made right wrong and wrong right, huh?
Uh,
I got banned. I got in a Facebook jail a couple of times, right?
really?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
You know me, I got to tell you what I think. Now, a guy posted a video there with, I think it was Paris or somewhere, and a guy standing. It was a small street with a traffic light on the front or whatever. So cars were lined up, and a guy was there with a 2x4 mashing up windshields and beating up the cars, and and mashing up the people windshield. Little children had to run out some of the cars and take off because they were worried that this guy was going to kill him. So somebody posted that video, and they said, "What would you do?" I said, "Run him over." So they banned me for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not banned me, they put me in Facebook jail.
So how long that was?
That was only for 24 hours. But every time I'm getting a strike and a strike and a strike, because they don't like the truth.
Yeah.
And they have these people there. I don't know what kind of liberal lefties they got there, moderating the damn thing. As soon as I put that, and that was in the comment section. That wasn't even something I
But
posted.
you know what? Because they monitor you more than anyone else, because you're a MAGA guy too, huh? You're always supporting Trump and all that. So
Well,
I
I support all capitalist conservatives.
Mm.
Some people here don't understand what that means. Most people here are liberals, leftists.
Mm.
They don't understand a leftist is a socialist. Socialism is slavery, and people don't realize that if socialism, the state will own you, because you're looking to the state for everything in life. You're depending on the state for everything, or you're looking for the state to give you free education and free money and all kind of stuff. They're gonna own you. Don't forget, nothing in life is for free. And the poor guy out there who's breaking his neck, working his behind off, is the guy who have to pay for all that. Eventually, that guy gonna say, "I ain't working no more because they kill me. 50% of my income goes to taxes." It's like slavery, and it goes higher and higher and higher because they find other ways to tax you. Same thing happening here now.
Well, I think I'm worried that the current administration in America is leading the country in the wrong direction.
Listen, America falls, we all fall. That's
really
what a lot of people don't understand. The U.S. If the U.S. falls, that was the only beacon of freedom. I mean, when I say freedom, they made it easy for you to. You're supposed to be responsible for whatever you do.
Yeah.
So if you do nonsense, you're gonna suffer the consequences. You do good, you're gonna good. Now they're taking your freedom away. They want to take your freedom of speech away, and once your freedom of speech is away,
taking it, huh?
most of it is going now and gone. Freedom of speech is what keeps a democracy a democracy, because the people would debate, but what they want is one people to think one way, and that's it. So there should be no opposition to the system. Anytime you're opposition to the system, they have to shut you down.
Well, I'm very worried though, because here you have this beautiful country that was looked up by all the countries in the world, and now
we were free market. That's why
very little respect.
We were free market. That's how St. Martin grew, because we had no import duties, we had very low taxes, or sometimes we didn't pay any taxes because they, especially back in the '60s and stuff, you paid very little. So, but it was free market. You could start a business easy. You could grow easy without the government interfering with you. Now it's like the government got control over your neck.
Well, the government only got control over one kind of people, actually. I will say, if you're from here,
and the people stay straight and you're local.
The government don't want you to do anything but to just sit back and wait for a handout from them.
That's how they own you.
They want you to succeed in business.
No, they want you to work for somebody.
Yeah.
What's happening now? They want to make you a worker instead of an entrepreneur. What you want for the people is you want people to become entrepreneurs. You want them to be able to work for themselves. So make it easy for them to start a business. Now, if you try to get a business license for any, the rigmarole and all the hoops you got to jump through and all that kind of stuff, and then to try and open a bank account, and the amount of money you have to pay this and this and this and this and this and this, that money should be going into to building your business or to buy merchandise or whatever, right? They put you through so much hell. So they discourage a local guy or a small guy from starting. People, that's what America was good for too. America was a free market. You could have started with $100, $150, or $200 in the United States and then grow to become a millionaire. How much people started with nothing? I was watching a program the other day, and a guy came from Lebanon or somewhere to the U.S. and he came with $2. Now he's a multimillionaire. Yeah. He only had $2 in his pocket when he came to the U.S. There were opportunities, but St. Martin is making it extremely difficult for locals. Even Jamaica, I see. Jamaica is more easy to start a business than
Really?
here. Yeah, they open a bank account, and you know what they do? The what do you call it? The license department that gives the business licenses. They send out people on weekends, and they go to out to the villages and stuff where people have a little shop or a little stand on the side of the road, and they would sign them up and give them their business license and give them a registration, Chamber of Commerce or whatever it is, registration, and they can go and open a bank account.
Oh, that's good.
They come along, they come and give it to them. I mean, they fill out the forms for them instead of them having to go to Kingston, whatever it is. Fill out the forms. It's and so they have a license and everything. They have a tax number, a license, and a Chamber of Commerce registration right on the spot.
When I look at the money there, it's just unbelievable. It's just like the people have given up to.
Yeah, but if you make it difficult for people, they will give up.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
People will say, man, why it's not even worth even trying? Because they want to make you an employee, not an employer.
So just be a consumer, not a producer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even in schools today, you got to teach critical thinking and not group thinking. What they're doing is trying the same thing they're doing in the States. Yeah. They're trying to make you think as one. And they want to make boys girls and girls boys.
Oh, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
So, there's a war against men.
Yeah.
Everybody else got more special rights than you now.
Yeah.
As a man.
But this thing in America now with all this, I don't even understand it, this alphabet people and this LGBTQ thing.
XYZ. You can identify as a donkey or a cat.
It's unbelievable.
Or a dog. I mean, it's like, the world has gone crazy.
You see, I respect everyone.
Yeah, of course.
And everyone is free to do what they want to do, but don't force it on me.
Don't force me to agree with it.
Yeah, that I have a problem with.
Yeah, that's what I got a problem with too. You put it into law, you're forcing everybody else to agree with it. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. That's your life.
But it's crazy, man.
But when you're forcing others, what they did is give them special rights. And so if you give individuals or whatever, there's special rights, they have more rights than you. And this is where I completely am against.
Yeah.
And for me, there's only two genders. There's a man and a woman. That's it. You know, you can't be half man or half woman. All kind of stupid nonsense they come up with now.
Yeah, you got all these guys turning into a woman.
No, but if you want to be a dyke, I mean a lesbian or anti-man or whatever you want, that's your business. But do not force it on me.
Yeah.
Or put it into law to make me have to give you special rights and I have to bow to you or some damn thing.
Is the media in America now pushing it on everyone? That's the danger.
Yeah, but the media is gone. It's gone now too. Don't forget the media. Most of the media you can't trust what the media is saying anymore. Right? The media is on one side. Huh?
Yeah.
The media is a propaganda machine now. It's just like the Pravda back in the.
It's always been, but now it's
where, but you can see it.
It's always been, yeah.
The media is very biased, huh? Yeah. Even here, huh?
Martin is the same, yeah.
Even here, if you don't agree, if it's not their opinion that you're going to come and preach, and you any kind of opposition to it, they want to shut you down.
Well, in fact, I think this current government is the most anti-media government we've ever had in the history of this island.
Well, you vote for socialists, that's what they want. Don't forget, liberalism is more about control and about conformity. You have to conform to what they believe. They don't have any room for opposition, or they don't have any room for debate.
Yeah.
They don't want that because they would lose the debate.
Right.
And they can't debate with a free market or a person who is a free thinker because they're going to lose the debate. So they want to shut you down. So you cannot have a real true democracy without freedom of speech.
And at the same time, a lot of people are worried about where the next meal is going to come from, so they're not even worried about their freedom anymore.
No, because that's how you control people. You keep them hungry. If you keep them hungry and dependent, you own them. Don't forget that. They're looking for a handout there. You got to keep them barely. You get them a little bit of crumbs on the table. They have no other choice. Or they feel they have no other choice. But nowadays when we were growing up, your parents will always teach you to be independent. Don't depend on government for nothing.
Right.
You know that. You remember that, right?
Yeah, of course. Definitely.
You don't look to government. You don't go to government for nothing.
Not today.
Not that you want free education. Nothing is free. Somebody got to pay the bill. And the worst thing is this. The poor construction guy or their busing is behind to make $60 a day or whatever it is going to pay for a guy to go to university to become a doctor. Imagine that he didn't have that opportunity because he couldn't get no money, no scholarship money or whatever.
Yeah.
You think that's fair?
Yeah.
For me, understand that one, right?
Yeah,
A
exactly.
plumber or whatever, a guy with a little small business and stuff who's working hard to make a few dollars to feed his family. He's got to pay an education for somebody to become I'm sorry, but that's the way I see it. And my time, we never got no free education. Huh?
In fact,
pay for it.
no. In the last years, if you get a scholarship from Simran and go to study outside of the Netherlands,
Yeah.
it's basically free. Although they tell you have to pay back, I know a lot of people don't pay back. Now, Holland is different because my 3 daughters all have advanced degrees from Holland to a medical doctor, lawyer, and psychologist. And they all have to pay. They're all in debt. Each of them like 70, 80,000 euros.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. You know, so I think the people
But
who
if
are
they
going
pay
to
back
America,
over years, it's going to be like nothing.
oh
you know,
yeah,
so
with
much
inflation and everything, yeah.
Yeah, but
But it's not free. You know, so I didn't
it
want
shouldn't be because then you wouldn't appreciate the value of it.
Yeah.
Anytime something is free, you never appreciate the value. Let's just like if you win the lottery, most people who win the lottery end up in a bad situation because they didn't work for it, and they do crazy things with the money.
Right.
And then they end up losing it too. But if you worked to make $1 million, you're very careful with it.
Because
You're going to invest it properly too.
Exactly. You get a lot of friends and family, and then they want your money too, and you win the lottery.
Yeah, you got to disappear. Go on Amazon and live and get in the jungle quick.
Yeah.
But that's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. You know, but I think Simran is a great island.
It is.
I still hope I have. Let's see how I should put this. I still have some hope for this island, but at the same time, I'm very, very concerned because the way we are going right now, the way I see people come to this island,
Yeah.
and how a red carpet is rolled out for them, and they don't provide any money to the coffers of the government. They don't pay any kind of taxes. They're living great, having their condos, doing what they have to do.
Yeah.
And I look at myself, and I look at the people that I know, my
Locals.
friends and families, and they're literally being hammered into the ground by the government.
Tax
This
office.
is not
right?
good.
I know.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
not good.
Listen, I know a lot of situations with people right now that the tax department's coming after them for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I was like, how the hell is that even possible?
It's not really that.
But in the end, they're going to take away everything you got. I mean, that's the thing with this kind of socialist ideas is to make everybody equal
But you
and
see,
everybody equally poor.
One of the things that happen, I don't want to identify any group now,
Yeah.
or single out any group, although I know who they are, is we have a new group of people arriving in this country. You look around the island, they're opening business all over. These people have a history of not paying taxes, not even using the local banking system. And if we continue
Crypto?
going the
They
way,
going
no,
into
not
crypto?
no.
Yeah.
If we continue down this path, and one of these days I will speak about it more openly that people understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we continue down this path, the government will see less and less income from taxes.
But we have to do another thing too is to make government responsible spending. Government is too big and overspending.
What you said there?
We have to make government responsible in spending. Huh?
That won't happen.
They
in
waste a
Somalia.
lot of money.
That's
So
not going to happen here.
people, a lot of people I know would say, why should I pay so much taxes to support a system that's really ripping me off? There's too much waste in government, and the government is too big for this size island. The more government you have, the more oppressive it becomes. Huh? Don't forget that.
Look, there was a time when government here was very small.
I remember the days.
Very, very
Clam Claude,
small.
and then there was like
Okay.
6 guys in there running the whole place.
I was looking at the budget of Simratin back from the 70s. Unbelievable. One page. Today now, the
budget was only maybe 1 or 2 million
Yeah.
guilders or something in those days.
And the thing is that when you look at Simratin today, what you're seeing is that after 1995, this island really changed.
Yeah.
Because before 1995, it hardly.
But they use it for a reset. The same thing with this COVID and with the last hurricane we had.
But you see, Lois in 1995 changed us forever in a way because Molebey was damaged.
I lost everything in
Yeah.
'95,
Yeah,
and
but Molebey never came back. And when Molebey never came back, that was the biggest employer. Who you think became the biggest employer?
government.
Yeah, and that's when things
Government is the
really
biggest.
changed.
But then you live in a communist country, yeah. If government has to provide jobs for everybody, you're in trouble, brother.
But all of that happened after
Yeah,
1995.
I know. But then you're in communist country. They expanded government too much. They got departments that are unnecessary. Too many, and a lot of them is overpaid. And a lot of them don't even work.
Yeah.
Don't even show up to work. I'm on sick leave most of the time.
And
I
you
know
what-
about it too.
And you know what the government is saying? They have this word capacity. Oh, they got a capacity problem.
A capacity problem.
So they have all these people working. Half of them don't really work.
No.
And at the same
They
time,
don't produce for the money
Yeah.
they're making.
but at the same time, they have a
Try that in the
capacity
private
problem.
sector.
Yeah.
But you know another thing? Look at government-owned companies. They never run properly. I mean,
That's
I know you might not agree with me with
No,
this.
no.
But I would privatize all of them.
No.
I mean, when I say privatize, not the nonsense they call privatize now.
I would tell you.
Sell it to the private sector so you and I can own shares. They tell you you're the owner for GB.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
but you can never get any dividends out of it. If you don't pay your bill tomorrow, they cut you off. You ever got any profit sharing on it?
No. I had a guest the other day,
But I think privatize everything.
and we spoke about that.
That's when you're going to get it to work.
The
Yeah.
thing is that you have to remember one thing. Who benefits most from these government-owned companies remaining the way they are?
Politicians with their cronies.
Okay, so then how you think it's going to be changed?
These companies piggy banks for a lot of the
Yeah.
political parties when they get into
Yeah.
power and their cronies. I mean,
And so,
friends and family and stuff. Yeah.
and that's what I'm telling you.
If you run a country like that,
Look,
it's not gonna.
I had the opportunity for
be
2 years
sustainable.
to see it from the inside, as I was on
No,
the supervisory board of directors for GB, so I saw
I
everything.
figured it. Yeah.
And after that, my whole way of thinking and the way I see things
Yeah.
change. And let me tell you, it's not good. So I will tell you right here, right now,
I would
the best
privatize
thing
all
is
of
to
them.
privatize everything.
Everything.
But you know what, Peter, as I said to you earlier, it can't happen because the people who are supposed to do it are the ones who are benefiting from it how it is right now.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you need a radical change in a political system. Oh, well, a political party that's going to radically change the system. But that's going to be hard to get in there because those same people are going to line up and vote against you. That's for sure. You got to hit a majority, you know.
You're asking a politician to chop off his own legs.
No, but to make it possible that the people benefit, not only you and your family, but everybody
But
benefits
it's
from
not
the
about
from
the people.
It's about
It's not about
it's
the
about the
people.
individual. I know.
You know, look,
I know.
Simran politics is all
Listen, I know from the beginning
it's
here.
a tribal thing.
I know it's tribal from the beginning. I know
If you're not a
from
part of the
Plawadi
tribe,
days.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta be. It's all tribal. Yeah.
I mean, you married into the tribe, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I could have gotten so much stuff because those were the days when all the land was available.
Yeah.
They were filling the Salt Pond. They were filling here Simpson Bay. They were the point blinds were opening.
Yeah.
Clem used to say, Peter, that time the cadastre was what's his name, that Dutch guy, Styler. Used to call Styler. Say, listen. Go with Peter and let him show you what mark out what he want. I never did it. I never took. I could have gotten land here anyway, but I never did it. Let me say, I remember those days.
I mean,
Back in the early 70s.
imagine the second most powerful man on Simran was your father-in-law.
Yeah,
That's what.
he was a good man. I can tell you.
Great guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and he helped a lot of people. Huh?
and oftentimes overlooked because a lot of people only saw Claude and not really.
Yeah, because Clem was always the guy behind.
Quiet,
He
the
was always a
background.
quiet guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he always. But he was a smart guy. I can
Yeah.
tell you that. He was a sharp guy. Yeah. But those were the days, man. But Samantha was much simpler and stuff.
What was good days?
It was good days. I love those days. And
I tell you what.
I'm glad I grew up in those days now.
I tell you what. I gotta go to a quick break.
Yeah.
So when I come back, we're gonna continue speaking here with Mr. Peter Gunn, my good friend. We're talking about everything with him. Let's have a casual conversation. Right back, please. Do this.
Yeah.
Never give up. Oh, never give up. We can make it.
Never forget those who were there for you. And if you dream big, you might just achieve it.
The power to serve, standing for community. OGB got the power to serve, the power to serve. We got the energy. OGB.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/.
My guest is Mr. Peter Gunn. Mr. Peter Gunn is here with me, and we're speaking about everything here on St. Martin. And if you want to know when we start the show, we upload the show, when we are going live, because sometimes we go live, I ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Oral Gibbs YouTube. And you'll get all the information firsthand. You'll know instantly when we upload or when we are live. I'm here with Mr. Peter Gunn, and we're speaking with him about all the things we want to speak about, right? A little bit of everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
We kind of reminiscent back in the old days too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Which is fun.
No, a lot of people come to St. Martin and they see it like this.
They don't know.
But they don't know what it was.
They don't know the
before,
struggles from
right?
your parents and, and all the other older ones. Those days it was not, you worked hard for no money.
Exactly. But at least it was different, huh?
Yeah. You worked for a lot less money, it was no money.
We were happier.
Yeah, but we didn't have nothing to buy. You remember when in the days when we didn't have big supermarkets, there were little shops.
One as uptown by me there.
No, before that was only food center. You remember in Kulsak?
Yeah.
Where
it was small.
It was small.
And, you had
and even before that was not there. You had what's the guy's name? The Dutch guy. Anyhow, you had a few shops. You didn't have no fresh chicken. I mean, you didn't have no frozen chicken.
Everything came from your yard.
Yeah. You better have chickens in your yard. What you got from those shops and supermarkets was pigtail, salt beef, saltfish, mackerel, canned stuff, and a lot of canned stuff. But fresh stuff you had to. You were too young, but me too. But my mother and them used to talk about kerosene stoves and kerosene fridges.
Yeah, that was.
You didn't have no electricity.
For my time,
that was back in the early 50s.
Right, yeah. But you know.
That was early 50s. I was a little kid then. My mother used to say, we had everything was kerosene. You had a kerosene fridge, if you could afford it.
But I still find that thinking back about what you just said, is that we had very little problems, man. We really didn't have any problems per se.
We didn't have much people. That's why. And most people went to Curacao and Aruba to work. Remember in the refinery.
Right.
They went to Lago and Shell to work because there was no jobs here. And some people went to San Domingo to cut cane.
Oh yeah. People went to Cuba too, huh?
Yeah, and the Panama Canal too.
Yeah.
And Cuba to cut cane in those days. That was before Castro, I think.
And then I heard from someone that there was this island off of Guyana where they used to go to years ago, back in the early 1900s. And I still can't find anyone who can confirm that, but I heard from some people that people were going to this little island off of Demerara, something like that. It was called off of Guyana.
I don't know what island that is.
And there were, so you hear all these stories from.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people went to the Panama Canal from the whole Caribbean when they were building the Panama Canal. A lot of people died there too. But those were and they used to send back the money.
Now look how
they used to send back money to support their families and in those days. You remember that?
Now look how it has changed.
About it.
Yeah. Now look how it's changed. Now they're all coming to St. Martin now.
Yeah, because after you see what really built St. Martin is because we had a free market.
We had or we still have? I think we still have in a way.
We still have in a way, but they're shutting it down step by step.
Well, it's not free for us, as I said earlier, but it's free for everyone else.
Yeah, but we had a free market where it was easy to import stuff without import duties and stuff. That's what keeps a lot of those British countries, ex-British, independent countries back, because their import duty to kill you. Nobody can afford to buy a car.
Oh, by the way, it's coming here to St. Martin. The Dutch government is insisting on the 12%.
They're gonna kill it. They're gonna take away, the people won't
That's
be
the
able to-
intention. That's the intention to kill it.
Yeah.
To put you on your knees that you.
Only a few. No, I see the situation like only a few gonna benefit. The people who are
It's already happening. We know what it is.
political connected.
Yeah.
Your friends working in customs and this, they're gonna pass that fee for no duty or for a little, they close their eyes on certain things. That's what happens in those
The
islands.
tribes, but the tribes are going
Tribal
to
thing.
benefit here.
You belong to the political party in power. You get the benefits, and you don't, then you gotta pay.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. I mean, it's a system that's just not fair.
But we're not too far from that right now because it's not even fair.
It's coming.
now.
I hope I'm not here at that time. I hope that I'm on the other side of. You and I getting old,
look.
we're not so young anymore, so we got to be thinking about.
People, like Peter Dash said, we looking for equal rights and justice, and that's not gonna come.
Everybody's equal. If you feel you're a victim, you're gonna be a victim forever. If you have this victim mentality that you're gonna always remain a victim, you're always gonna be second class, or you're feeling that somebody else is more superior than you.
That's happening a lot in St. Martin now.
It's happening everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
People are using this victim card. If you're a victim, that you're not going anywhere. You're using that to it's somebody else to me. It's somebody else's fault that I'm poor. Or it's somebody else. No, it's you. It's up to you. You have everything in your hands.
The thing is that it's interesting you mentioned that because we in St. Martin always been very independent thinking people.
Not anymore.
But at the same time now, you need government in a way sometime because to process licenses in a timely manner, etc., to make sure that things flow the right way. That's a responsibility of government.
Government's responsibility is ready to protect the citizens, which means from invasion or from somebody else abusing you, and if there's a dispute, that they can settle the dispute between the two individuals or whatever it is, right? That's their first responsibility, and they should make it easy for somebody and not select who they're going to get this permit, and if you're not belonging to this political party, you can't get this piece of land, or you can't get a permit because we're going to give it to one of our political friends first, and we put a limit on it and all kind of stuff, so you can't they leave you
I'll
out.
put it differently right now. Someone was giving me some information recently about property that was sold, and in less than a month, the person who purchased it had all the documents to bill and everything else. You can't get that as a local person, Simon.
But that's another thing. That's another thing, and there's it's sad to say, but there's a lot of corruption in government too, and it's all levels right now. I mean, it's been there for a while, from the top, but now it's all levels. It's
The whole fish is stinking now.
Yeah, the fish is already turned to saltfish already.
It's not
Mackerel.
just the head anymore.
No, but unless we straighten that out and make it easy for building permits, how long does it take you to go through a plan to see what to try and because if the people who are going to build, they got to submit a plan, right? How long does it take you to check a plan? I remember when Leroy and those guys, we used to do appraisal reports. We can go through a plan and tell you what the cost is to construct how many square meters, square foot. Right away, you can check the plan. How come they can within the next day you can get your appraisal report or whatever it is?
No.
Well, appraisal reports you can get, but now the price gone up through the roof. But I'm talking about if the building department. What do you have to do to check that plan to make sure it's gonna comply with whatever the local regulations?
Well, it's a capacity problem they have. You remember that word, eh?
Capacity problem.
Yeah.
Most people are on sick leave every day. I understand there's still some of them still working from home 2 days a week.
Yeah.
I mean, they're working from home, which means they only work 2 days a week.
Pandemic's still on.
Because of the pandemic nonsense,
Yeah,
that was another one, thing that nobody died with the flu anymore, or died in a car crash, or heart attack, or blood, or stroke or something. You died. They checked. He said he had COVID, so he died.
Yeah. It's a racket, huh?
It's a big racket. I said that from the beginning.
It's a big racket.
And how much people, when they check back, the same amount of people that died every year with this so-called COVID thing. The same amount used to die with influenza, which is the cold.
Back in
You know how much old people die with the cold every
back
day?
in 2018, there was a terrible flu. A lot of people died in America.
Yeah, the
E-
dengue
even
and all
more
that.
than-
What do you
yeah.
call it? Spanish dengue flu. Anyhow, it's a cycle. But what they shut down the world economy for 2 years. You know damage it did to it drove a lot of people into depression. It drove a lot of people out of business. It drove a lot of people to commit suicide. It messed with the head. Well, it drove people into poverty a lot.
Well,
You don't see the consequences yet, but it's coming. Yeah.
I was speaking, and I'm not going to call a name. I was speaking with a guy in Florida 2 days ago, and he was telling me how much money he made during the pandemic.
Some people did.
Wait,
Some people did.
because of his type of business. And I said to him, but if you was in New York, you couldn't make no money because the Democrats in New York had shut down the place. But in Florida, thank God for DeSantis, you could make money.
Yeah.
You know, the man told me
Wow.
he didn't even vote for DeSantis. He said, one
He doesn't understand how good he got it there.
he made money because of DeSantis keeping
Policies
Florida open,
yeah.
and he still voted against him.
That's how people are. They're ungrateful until they realize what they voted for, and when it catches up to them, then they're going, "Oh Lord, poor me."
Well,
Poor
I
you.
think it's because
Same thing happened in Venezuela. Don't forget they voted for Chavez, huh?
it's all about
Majority voted for Chavez.
Yeah, but you
see
see-
what happened to them?
this guy. You know, if you're a Democrat, they vote Democrat no matter what. Look at that! Look at that guy
They got
that
dumb
they
people
vote,
in this world, huh?
Look at the guy there in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
That guy's a dangerous guy. He's a communist too, huh? You see the policies this guy is supporting. Well, most Democrats are communists. You know, they're
What do you
communists.
think about all politicians?
They call themselves.
They
most
don't
of them-
have any ideology.
They have no clue who they are. I mean, most of them are leftists. Most of them support the Democrats in the states. I can guarantee
No,
you
I
that
mean,
one.
yeah, but
None
then
of them would support. So they're all the same. They're all leftists.
yeah,
Yeah, just watch the policies they support. Yeah, but some of them too stupid. They even know they're communists. You know what I mean?
they don't know what they are.
They don't know what they are. They're a bit of everything. Now the nice part is this. Or I hear some of them say, "But we're a bit of everything. We're a bit of capitalists. We're a bit of socialists. We're a bit of everything." And it's like, you can't be a half donkey and a half dog, you know. If you're in the middle of the road, you won't get run down from one side. You fall in the white line in the middle of the road,
You
right?
never saw the movie, the cartoon Cat Dog?
Yes, yeah. A bit of everything. You're confused if you're a bit of everything. You're lost. You have to know where you're going. How are you going to set the direction if you're a bit of everything? You have to have either a capitalist or you're a communist.
No, you're right.
There's
but,
nothing in between.
But you know,
That means you're lost.
right now in St. Martin, we have an illegitimate parliament because they're sitting there. They don't even want to call a vote of no confidence against the government because they're afraid that they're going to lose their big payday.
They're afraid they might have to call an election now.
They're afraid because they prefer to leave it until later next year.
We got a bunch of,
But
we got a
$10,000 is a lot of money every month. they
plus all the
collect.
benefits that go along with that. You know how much extra benefits they got, huh?
So
It's
that's
a lot more
why-
than that.
That's why you see.
And how much do they work?
What?
How much do they work?
They don't work. Work what?
Oh, on St. Martin Day, they were showing up here and there and there, saying the same speech that they were saying for the last 20 years, 30 years,
Yeah,
40
no,
years.
look, I feel
Oh, we got to unite both Dutch and French and this and that, and we
Yeah.
got to work together more and this and that. They've been saying that. You
No.
listen to the speeches?
Yeah, I don't listen anymore because
don't
it's all
listen
crap.
anymore.
I ain't got time for them. Really, you know. And the thing about it is that when you look at the Parliament of St. Martin, you know, they say they're watching this program. Say, look, Peter and Earl, they're talking crap
Yeah, well,
because we're being critical of them.
of course.
But if you look at what they've done, and if I ask them, show me what you've done for the year to deserve that salary, they can't show you. And I always tell people, it's not about the salary.
They got to
it's
go
about
along to
the
get
produce.
along. Yeah, they
You
go
know?
along to get along. That's. But if you're gonna be a leader, you're gonna represent people. You gotta do what's
The
benefiting
leader?
the,
We don't have no more leaders.
the followers. I mean, they're going along with whatever they think is the popular opinion of the day.
So
Don't forget, good things are unpopular. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's unpopular to do the right things. The right thing is unpopular to do. The truth is unpopular. You know that. People want to hear a lie.
So what you looking forward to the next election here in St. Martin?
No.
No?
You're going to get the same thing.
Same thing.
Whether you vote or don't vote, you're going to get the same. And I'm going to vote for none of that.
It's a tribe again. The
It's tribal,
tribe.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't belong to the tribe, man. So I'm the black sheep in the tribe outside. I don't belong to the tribe. But I don't mind. I don't mind being one of them, and maybe I think you're the same thing too. That going in the next direction. When I see the whole flock of sheep going that way, I go in the head.
I don't follow the crowd.
No, I go in the next direction, brother.
Yeah.
And that's who gonna win in the end. The poor sheep are gonna fall off the cliff over there. Let him fall off. Let him follow.
It's always a pleasure having you and speaking with you.
It's always a pleasure being here with you, Oral.
And it's
always fun to talk about whatever it's.
I know we have the same political views and so forth.
Yeah, we're conservatives, huh?
So,
I know you're conservative. I'm a conservative. I'm a what they call right wing.
Yeah.
But they don't understand what right wing is.
It's hard to find them in St. Martin these days.
No, libertarian is a right wing.
Yeah.
A conservative is a capitalist. That's all it is. Yeah. And a left wing is a communist. They call themselves socialists. They call themselves liberal and this and that. Anyhow, pleasure. I know the program is finished. It's a pleasure. Oral.
Thanks, and again, much success and continue. Great job with the drone flying, man.
Well, I gotta keep busy, and I'm gonna keep busy.
All right,
I've been doing it for years, but
thanks a lot.
And take care. Thank you, man.
Okay, that's Mr. Peter Gunn. I'll see you next time right here on Oral Gibbs Live. Until then, take care. Bye.
Bye.